Oh.
Oh, didn't see you there. Happy Homebrew Wednesday number 7, everybody. Not much going on around here at the brewery. Our Not Moonman has fermented out for the most part. It's just kind of chilling for a little bit. So went to Crafty Cow for their Barrel Fest, and that was quite fun. And there was a work party where I brought the Bavarian Hefeweizen in. So let's get to getting. First up, you can see the gravity reading of the Not Moonman has come in at about 10:08. It's actually a little lower than I expected. I expected to come in about 10:10, and it fermented over the course of about 6 to 7 days. You know, it's kind of hard to tell. I put it in a big mouth bubbler for the first time, and it doesn't seem to have a super tight seal. So as soon as the fermentation came down a little bit, it didn't seem to bubble that much, but it definitely was doing some stuff. So here's the sample. It's pretty clear, and the color is almost spot on compared to a Moonman. The nose is really close. So you get some of the big C smells. It smells quite good. Damn it. Butter. I guess we're gonna let this chill a little warm for a little bit to get the diacetyl out, but yeah. After, I'll probably give it another week now, keep it around 68. And then I'm going to go ahead and slowly cold crash it to about 34. We're gonna transfer it, and then we're gonna dry hop it. So last week's episode has the details about it. Wow, that's actually kind of strong butter. You win, Secor. It was great out this last weekend, and Friday night we went to Crafty Cow for dinner and some post-work stress beers, and we weren't planning to go to Crafty Cow on Saturday for Barrel Fest, but it was so nice out, we decided to go for a walk, and we ended up there, and we ended up staying there all night. Love that place. If you're out here in Lake Country in Wisconsin, stop by. Great food, great people. Their staff doesn't rotate as much. It's the taps I meant last week, or 2 weeks ago, but it's fine. Every hour started at 1 o'clock. They started putting different beers on tap. So it's all 16 different beers, and they were all delicious. We didn't get to 2, and that was the Oso Brett Pills, and I believe it was the Dragon's Milk. We ended up leaving around 6 o'clock, and they didn't pop enough kegs to get to it. I had some fresh squeezed and some other beers to make up for it, but yeah, it was great. I didn't bring any of my camera because I wasn't planning to stay there like all day, but we did. But you can see it here. They have other craft beer events out there. There's a Glarus craft beer event that's kind of big. We're going to do a tap takeover. And one other brewery that I think Dale said, but I think the barrel aged beer kind of like knocked that memory right out. I don't know. It's great. I'm sure we'll be there again soon. Sunday, in fact. We have some friends coming from England over, and we're gonna head on up and have some American beers to get my British friend accustomed to the deliciousness called hops. So what do you do in the middle of the winter here in Wisconsin, right about before spring, and it's still miserable out? You have a beach party. So we're at a beach party, and when I think of beach parties, I think of rock hard abs, bikinis, and lederhosen and Bavarian Hefeweizen. Who doesn't really? Come on. So I brought my Bavarian Hefeweizen over, and that's why we're empty. And I brought it to the party to serve. Every year in Christmas time, I bring what I call the beer sleigh, which is the kegerator behind me with the taps, and I push it around. And it was a really good time. So what else do you do on the beach? You play Hammerschlagen! Ever played Hammerschlagen? It's a game that's popular. I don't even know if it's popular, but it's played in Bavaria, and it's a piece of wood, like a trunk of a tree, and you take old square nails and you tap them in, and then you get one swing to drive it as far down as you can. If you spark, you think the community drinks. If you miss, I think everybody, or you have to drink. I think traditionally the last person who sinks it ends up having to buy the round, but that was always me because I brought the beer. It's a great time. If you're ever in a German bar, look for it. It's totally fun. We did cheat. We did use the flat end, not the pointed end. I know. If we would have tried the other way, it would have been just chaos and just destruction everywhere. But it ended up being a really good time. If you're ever in a German bar someplace, the Old German Beer Hall, who also sponsors one of my soccer teams here in Milwaukee, has one. It's a great time. So I submitted the Bavarian Hefeweiss to the National Homebrewer Competition, and looking at the dates on the calendar, there is a lag between when beers are due to when they're tasted of just about, actually, 1 month. So that's 4 weeks. I understand the logistic problems. I understand how hard it is, and some people, other locations, they're going to be drunk earlier, and some of them are going to be drunk at the same time. We all know that with really hoppy beers that the hop aroma and flavor and all that kind of stuff just starts to plummet really fast after about 5 weeks, and it's really hard to carb up to the proper level and get everything bottled and down there in time. So I wonder if we're going to see a whole bunch of kind of like mediocre IPAs advance simply because a lot of the aroma was lost. If you really hit it with some late hops, if that would kind of go against it, maybe you're going to come up with a more traditional IPA. I don't know, I just thought it would be a little better if the deadline was within like 2 weeks of the actual sampling and just shift the dates per location. I do understand that it's a terrible nightmare. I love everything you guys do, but it's just a little bit of an observation. I don't know. I have opinions. Lots of opinions. Well, everybody, that's all that's going on around here. You know, the Moonman, the butter bomb. God, I wonder if it's the hop stand. I wonder if it's just builds up diacetyl because I didn't crash it fast enough, or I don't know. We're gonna have to play around with this a little bit because besides the butter, it tastes pretty good. You know, we're gonna brew, see some friends. We'll see you next week. Yon'do. Oh, P.S. John, sorry. I realize that's a T3, not a T3i, and it doesn't have an audio output. That's why this doesn't sound as good as it should. My bad. I'm gonna have to get a new camera eventually.